What is up, guys? It's Coop with C&T Designs again. Forgot what I'm doing here. So we're going to cover another bill today. This is the House Bill 2280. This is a so-called gun trafficking bill again. Our cut for today is the clown car, because that's how these people get to Congress to actually write bills that are this retarded. They all load up in their little clown cars. Oh man, it's, I don't know, getting crazier and crazier. I looked the other day just to see what was going on with some more new bills, and they're just dumping more and more out there. So let's see. Let's go in here. We'll do our normal screen share. Get some stuff out of the way. So again, this is House Bill. This is 2280 to amend 18 USC to combat straw purchases of firearms and to deter firearms trafficking, which is a bunch of horse crap. All right, this was introduced on 3/29 of 21. Some of our normal brain surgeons here that introduced this bill: Kelly, McBath, Horsford, Eleanor Holmes Norton, and just all the normal people. All right, so this bill gets into, let's see, the short title may be cited as Prevent Gun Trafficking Act. And as always, it will do nothing to prevent any kind of criminal activity with firearms, but it will, however, put normal everyday people in jeopardy of getting charged under laws like this. So let's see. Section 2, prohibition on straw purchases of firearms, prohibition on gun trafficking. So for the first section of this, we're getting into 921. And they actually add in this subparagraph here, 36. And now remember, 921 has to do with definitions. So they're going to basically define the term family members. So it means a spouse, domestic partner, parents and their children, including step-parents and their stepchildren, siblings, aunts, uncles, and their nieces and nephews, or grandparents and their grandchildren. Okay, so let's see. Let's get down here. So once they define that,
since I love cheese so much, can I have some cheese and some witch crackers, please?
Give me a minute, Mark. We'll see. So they can actually come down through here, and they actually add in a whole new section of law, section 932 of 18 USC, chapter 44. So this is their gun trafficking amendments here. So it shall be unlawful for any person other than a licensee under this chapter, in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce. Yep. Again, the basis for all of their gun control plans. To knowingly purchase or acquire or attempt to purchase or acquire a firearm from or through such a licensee for the possession of a third party. So I couldn't go and buy a gun for a friend. I technically, underneath this section, I couldn't go buy a gun and then turn around and resell it. That would make me a gun trafficker. Because when you really get down into the gist of the law, if I found a good deal on a gun that I was going to resell for a profit, that fits right into what they're trying to do here, which also gets into person-to-person sales. Shall be unlawful for any person other than a licensee under this chapter in or affecting other interstate or foreign commerce to solicit, hire, demand, or order another person to purchase or attempt to purchase any firearm for the purpose of obtaining the firearm for the person, or selling or transferring the firearm to a third party. This stuff gets so freaking diluted, man. How in the world they think any of this is going to solve the existing problems with um, people actually trafficking in firearms is absolutely insane. Um, I won't go there. At least not right now. I'll go there later on. We'll wait till we get a little bit further in. All right. The Attorney General shall ensure that the firearms transaction record for the required form required to be completed in connection with firearms transactions includes a statement outlining the penalties that may be imposed for violating subsection A, or for violating section 8, which is what we just read up there, which is basically buying a gun for another person. Boy, boy. So they're going to put on this form a list of the penalties and infractions, which will be another addition to basically a 4473. All right. This stuff it gets more and more painful the more you read the laws and stuff that these people want to pass. It's straight insanity. All right, let's see. This section shall not apply to any firearm that is purchased or acquired by any person, or that any person attempts to purchase or acquire as a bona fide gift between family members. That's where we bounce back to the additions they did to 921, where they were defining family members. That is purchased or acquired by an agent of a lawful business, for an agent of that lawful business, basically. So you could buy guns to staff, or to actually arm your security staff, stuff like that. If the purchaser or person acquiring the firearm has no reason to believe the recipient of the firearm will use or intends to use a firearm in a criminal or in a crime, or is prohibited from purchasing or possessing firearms under state or federal law. Those are the exceptions to this whole gun trafficking thing. Which, again, if you went and you bought a firearm from a gun store, you passed a 4473 background check, whole 9 yards, and then you decided to sell that firearm, well, you could be a gun trafficker too. Now, here's some of the other crazy stuff they're wanting to do in here. Let me pull up. Let's see, this was 928 or 982. So, this is, let's see, if the purchaser or person acquiring the firearm has no reason, okay. So, forfeiture. So, this is your civil asset forfeiture. So, if they say that you are possibly involved in gun trafficking, or that you sold firearms and they didn't like the way you sold them, well, guess what? This is where they get to go in and they get to confiscate your property. Shall order that the person forfeit to the United States any property, real or personal, which represents or is traceable to the gross proceed obtained directly or indirectly as a result of such violation. They add in here this is the section they're adding in, which is section 922 A1A, related to unlicensed firearm sales, so person-to-person transfers. Section G, related to illegal gun transfers, so if you sold a gun to someone that you didn't realize shouldn't have a gun. And then section 932, which is the gun trafficking that they added in. Basically, like I said, a whole new section of law. So that would be all your civil asset forfeiture. So if you sold a gun, or you sold a couple of guns, and they realize they don't even have to convict you under this section. They just have to say that you were involved in activity that could be illegal. Then they get to go into your bank accounts, all of your property, your physical property, and they can confiscate all that. So it just gets even more fun. So then we got into where they go near. They went to 922. This guy right here. So again, as usual, I take the law, text of the law, copy it over to a document, and then go in and actually put in their edits for it. And let me scroll down and see where I'm at. Where in the world did I put it? Because I know I had the edits done. Maybe reading all these bills is actually just causing me to go absolutely brain dead. Alright, so they add this in, Section 10. Another unlawful act intends to sell or otherwise dispose of the firearm or ammunition in a violation of federal law, or to sell or otherwise dispose of the firearm or ammunition to a person in another state in violation of the law of that state. Good Lord. So again, this is not just with guns. This is ammunition. You could sell someone a box of rounds, and you could get convicted under these statutes. I really wish more people would actually wake up and start paying attention to what these idiots are doing. Alright, they even go into money laundering in this bill, which is this guy right here. So again, related to interstate communications, relating to unlawful importation of firearms, throwing in the sections that they would classify this under money laundering. Again, the government telling you what you can do with your own private property is just absolutely insane. So then they get into 932 gun trafficking. They actually do a couple little edits in that. That's what we already read, which is Section 10. Penalties in 924. So 924. So this guy right here. So this would be getting into the penalties for this stuff. Let's see if I can find kind of a clear. Oh, my phone's gone off. They're going to have to wait. So let's see. Of this subsection, where intent is demonstrated by clear and convincing evidence, shall be subject to seizure, forfeiture, and disposition. So that's why they edited this in here. This is to basically say that any of these acts can be used to seize your property, to take your property without compensation, to seize bank accounts, seize money from you, all because you basically sold a gun that you owned, your own property, to someone that's not on their list of acceptable people, or you purchased a gun for another person. It doesn't matter whether they can pass a background check or not. You just merely bought the gun for this other person. That makes you liable for all this. I'm seriously thinking Sunday night we might do another share the pain stream and go over a straw purchase case that went to the Supreme Court, I think in 2014. And even though it's an older case, it still highlights the way these judges will interpret these laws way outside of the actual context of the law, just because they don't like firearms and they don't like firearm sales. So that's more than likely what I will be doing Sunday nights. Let's see. Was there anything else we needed to hit in this one besides the absolute retardedness of this bill? I don't think so. I think that covers everything in this. So, gun trafficking, seizure, forfeiture, jail time, fines, all for selling your own private property. And none of this will do anything to stop a single criminal from getting a firearm. It will make you, however, prosecutable underneath their statute. So, I'm going to cover another one here in a little bit. Maybe I can get a little bit more excited. Maybe I can get rid of the headache this crap has given me. Um, and maybe be a little bit more animated and a little bit more entertaining in the next one. Who knows? This stuff is, I don't know why I do this to myself. But I get to share it with you guys, so technically I get to do it to you too. So that makes it a little bit more fun. So anyway, kids, I'm out. Y'all guys be cool, and we're gonna cover next or cover another one here in a little bit. Later.